have walked past someone who's homeless and begging and thought I should give them some money? Probably, yeah. You probably have done that, and you probably felt a little bit of social pressure and guilt to give them money. But what if I told you that handing them your loose change would actually be hurting them and many other homeless people just like them? So in the United States, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Development, there are 552,830 people who are homeless on any given day in the United States. So this number is very staggering, but it's hard to understand how that really affects us because we see homeless people all the time, and it's such a big number that it's hard to break down how it would immediately affect our community. But first, I'm going to define homelessness for you. So homelessness is defined as being without a home or a job, and chronic homelessness is defined as when individuals with disabilities experience a continuous year of homelessness or 4 periods of homelessness over the course of 3 years. And according to the Los Angeles County homeless count in an article by CBS Los Angeles, there are 125 homeless people currently living in Malibu. And this was really shocking to me to find out because when you think of Malibu, you definitely don't think of people without homes. And it's a large number of people in our direct community that are homeless and that are struggling that we should help. And I think that the biggest thing that is hard to understand is how we can affect these people. And we might think that the best way to do this is by giving them money when they're begging, but that's actually not the best solution. So homelessness is a problem that's affecting our community, and we need to figure out how to directly affect these people. So there's a variety of factors that lead to homelessness, so understanding those can help us to be better equipped to solve the issue. And so according to Galen Context, poor health is both a cause and effect of homelessness. So people with poor mental, physical, and behavioral issues that are not being addressed can fall into homelessness very easily. And when you have these issues, it's much harder to get out of homelessness. People lack proper treatment, and if you give them money, they're not necessarily going to seek out that treatment. People with behavioral issues, they're not going to immediately think of how they can solve their problem. They're going to deal with the direct things affecting them. So they might buy money, or they might buy food with the money that you give them, but they're not going to seek out healthcare and the longer term things that they will actually need to get themselves out of homelessness. And when you're handing out money to someone who is homeless, you don't know where that money is going. You'd like to think that it's going to food or to helping them to secure a job or clothing or shelter, but in reality, you have no idea where that money is going. They could be spending it on those things, but it's actually unlikely that they're going to spend it on things that will help them in the long term. So giving to beggars is putting a Band-Aid on an issue that is much longer term. And so according to the economist Tyler Cohen, the more you give to beggars, the harder beggars will try. This leads to what economists call rent exhaustion, which limits net gain to beggars. And so what he means by this quote is that the more that you give to people who are begging, the more beggars will show up. Those people who you were originally giving money to, yes, they'll get money the first time, but then once other beggars realize that this is working for people, then they'll show up too, and it's actually going to decrease the amount of money that those people who you originally were giving to would be receiving. And this is shocking to some people, but if you think about it longer, it actually makes a lot of sense that the more that people are just giving out money, the more people who are obviously going to try to take advantage of that, who might not be as needy as the original people who are asking for money. So writer for The Atlantic, Derek Thompson, noted that the typical beggar makes on average $600 to $1,500 a month, which is a decent amount of money to be making for just begging on the street. But the issue with people who are begging is that they're not saving this money from month to month. It's very typical that they're going to spend the money almost immediately once they receive it. They're not going to be saving enough money that they can buy themselves an apartment or so that they can secure a job. These people have other issues going on that is preventing them from saving money. So while it seems like it might be possible for them to save up this money and to be able to lift themselves out of poverty, it's going to take larger governmental and nonprofit organizations to assist them to get them out of this poverty. So there's a lot of federal government and local government systems that are being put in place now to try to address the homelessness issue. So Marissa Kendall of USA Today states that cities including Nashville, Virginia Beach, and Las Vegas have revamped parking meters to allow people to donate money on the streets to help to end homelessness and help to get homeless jobs. And a simple thing like this allows people to donate money in a way that is very quick and easy, like giving a beggar money, but you actually know where the money is going, and it's more of a concrete way to raise money to help to end homelessness. So if a city like Malibu were to put these on the streets, then it might help to alleviate some of the problems by raising money for organizations where you know exactly where the funds are going to. So also, according to the Washington Post, Trump has been trying to crack down on homelessness, especially in the Los Angeles area. And Skid Row is an area of Los Angeles where there are a lot of homeless camps. And so the images like these are what you might think of when you think of homelessness in Los Angeles. But with current government policies that Trump and the federal government is trying to implement, they're trying to increase programs that will help to get these people off of the streets. And so larger programs like these, where they might not have immediate effects, obviously it would be nice if we could just take homeless people off the streets and get them jobs and start reducing the effects immediately. But things like this will take much longer to implement, but will actually be more effective in the long run. And while the homeless problem has been increasing in the Los Angeles area, writer Alan Greenblatt said that the unemployment rate is at a 10-year low, which is 4.4%, which is great. So you can see that certain things are improving. While it looks bad now and that obviously the homelessness is still a problem, there are things that are improving, like the unemployment rate, that we can focus on. So it shows that longer term programs actually do have an effect. So in a 2019 report from the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty, 24% of cities have outlawed begging on the streets, which is another way that we can help to reduce the homeless problem, is by not allowing people to beg for money on the streets. It forces them to seek out other solutions and to seek out other ways to get money, because obviously begging is easy. All you need is to just sit on the street for a while and people will give you money. But by outlawing things like this and not allowing people to loiter or sit on the street and beg, then it's really gonna help fix the problem in the long run, although it seems harsh. And 76% of cities actually prohibit begging in select places, which shows that overall, many cities are trying to reduce the begging problem, which is a good indicator that it is a problem that we need to solve with policy at a governmental level. So since all of you have definitely seen a homeless person and wanted to give them money, maybe now you'll be able to understand why it's better in the long run to not give money to homeless beggars and to instead try to support government policies that will help reduce this problem, and to also support organizations and nonprofits that are making a direct effect and you know where your money is going exactly.